I want to be honest with you about something. This week on this channel, we talked about semiconductors ETFs, which are up 54% this year. We talked about ETFs that own SpaceX before the largest IPO that we have ever seen in history. And we talked about quantum computing ETFs that the government just validated. They're putting $2 billion in federal funding, and all of that is real. All of those are facts. Those are my portfolio, and that is what I'm genuinely excited about. But here's the thing I really want to close the week off with. The exciting stuff, the SMH, the NASA ETF, the QTUM, that is roughly 30% of my portfolio. The other 65%, it is the boring things that I own. When I look at the VOO, the QQQM, the SBMO, the SEHD, those are set up on automatic contributions. Just like the rest of my portfolio, we reinvest all of those dividends. We are sitting there, and the portfolio is sitting there doing nothing dramatic. We're not chasing anything. We're not changing or adjusting anything based on the headlines. And that boring 65% of the portfolio is where true wealth is built. When you start looking at your financial future and put all of those couple exciting positions together, today I want to talk about the boring part of it and why this is really the biggest and greatest investment strategy there is. When individuals look at my portfolio, I get the comments, my portfolio looks very boring. Boring is the feature when it comes to this. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, here's the problem. Everyone thinking about investing in 2026 is designed to really feel exciting. In my finance channel, that's what we talk about, including myself. We talk about ETFs that are up that 54%. We talk about what the government is doing, the IPO windows, semiconductor super cycles, financial Twitter, and really talks about a lot of things that are 10x, 100x, 300x leverage. Reddit talks about opinions. They look at meme stocks, looking at GameStop, all of that. And everywhere you look, they're implying that your portfolio is not doing anything exciting, or it shouldn't grow, and it is not growing to the level that it is, giving you the feeling and giving you the notion that you could be doing something wrong. Now, this is genuinely one of the most expensive lies that I see in investing and in personal finance in its entirety, because the data on what actually builds wealth over time is not even close to what you see on social media. It is not the exciting trades. It is not the day traders. A majority of them lose money. It's not the hot ETF that everyone is following. It is not even timing that market perfectly. It is investing in boring, automatic, consistent accumulation contributions into low-cost broad market index funds like we're seeing with the VOO over a very long amount of time. Now, the reason most people don't know or really don't even think about it is because it doesn't feel like they're doing enough, because it is so incredibly simple. It doesn't feel like you're really doing anything at all short of putting money into an ETF. And we're sitting in a world that rewards the hustle, the optimism, the activity. Doing nothing dramatic for a majority of people can feel incredibly wrong. But when it comes to investing, that is actually doing everything incredibly right. So let me tell you what boring investing actually looks like in practice, because a lot of people imagine that it's sophisticated, it's complex. You can't invest because you don't know what you're doing. And honestly, it is pretty embarrassing on how simple investing really is. Boring looks like this. Every single month, the same day, like a bill, we make contributions. A fixed amount leaves your checking account. It goes in, it lands in the brokerage account. It's buying the VOO, it's buying the QQQM. Even with the dividends that come in, they're being reinvested automatically. So again, you're not doing anything with that at all. You don't check it when the market's down 10%. You don't check it when the market is up 10%. You don't rebalance the portfolio at all. You don't need to read the Fed minutes. You don't need to adjust your allocations. Don't even need to change those percentages maybe every 5 to 10 years. You set a calendar reminder maybe every 6 months, every 12 months to look at the percentages, just making sure they don't drift too far apart. Then you close the app, you go on, you do something else with your life, and you get to enjoy your life. You get to live your life. That's it. That is my whole boring strategy. And I know it sounds super simple. I know it sounds like it cannot be possibly easy enough just to do that. But when we start breaking down a boring strategy and exactly what those numbers look like, because the data is really a key marker, and it shows what extraordinary portfolios can be when they are left alone. So let's get into the real numbers. These are not projections. These are not estimations. These are historical numbers for the VOO, which tracks the S&P 500 as of today, which is May 27th. So the VOO, since inception, 2010, it's up 806%. Think about that. That is roughly 15% annualized going back to 2010. In the last 10 years, if you invested $1,000, that would be $4,100 today, looking at that 310% return. In the last 5 years, if you put 1,000 in there, you'd be at 1923. So a 92% return, almost seeing a double your money in 5 years, which is kind of crazy. When we go back even further, looking at a 30-year compounding annual return, 10.25. We are still over 10% when you start compounding that return. Maximum drawdown in the last 30 years was 50%, which recovered in the next 53 months. It was a full recovery. So year to date in 2026, we're up about 10.3%, currently at all-time highs, and we keep seeing this again and again and again when you look at the news, new all-time highs. Then we start looking at all-time highs for 25, up 17% in 25. In 24, we're up 25% in 2023, 26%. It is incredible to see. If you invested $1,000 10 years ago, it would be again $4,100, a 310% return. This is not from picking stocks. This is not from timing the market. This is not from a genius strategy. This is from owning a place and a piece of the 500 best companies in America and not touching it for a decade. The super simple, boring strategy is exactly what it produces when it comes to compounding. Now let me put that in really terms where the numbers that really seem to land. So if you invested $500 into the VOO 10 years ago, $500 a month, same day every single month, let's say it was the first of every single month, never missed a contribution, never pulled any of the money out, you would have contributed $60,000. As of today, your account balance would be around $113,000. So the $60,000 contribution made a $53,000 gain. You made more money than your paycheck did, which is crazy. That is the power of compounding, boring investing, working exactly the way it's supposed to, and it requires zero skill. It requires zero market insight, zero excitement produce the outcome. You just have to sit and let that $113,000 number land, and it will come in the portfolio. So now there's a couple things that really boring investors like me do. It separates the investors who build real wealth through boring investments and of the ones that really have a slow drift. They're buying and selling, they're chasing excitement. It comes down to 5 very, very specific principles that I want to share with you guys. Number 1, I don't time the market. I do dollar cost averaging. I actually do purchases every single Monday. So I don't wait till the first of the month. Every single Monday morning, I am doing contributions and going in there. Boring investors make contributions on a fixed schedule, regardless of what the market is doing. If it's up, great, I'm buying the same amount. If the market's down, I'm buying the same amount. I'm not waiting for the dip, not waiting for news, not pausing during a correction. I don't care about what the Fed is doing. I don't take profits when it is an all-time high. I let the portfolio compounding. The second one, I do not panic sell. When the market dropped 50% in 2008, the boring investors, they kept buying. If you think about the consistency, if you're buying the S&P 500 at a 50% discount, that is going to be massive when we see that recovery in the next couple months. You're going to have and build a supercharged portfolio when you're buying it at a discount. Even when you looked at, 34% in 2020 when COVID happened, boring investors kept buying. I kept doing the exact same thing that I always have. When it dropped 18% in 2022, exact same thing. Boring investors kept buying. Every single one of those drops have recovered, and we've seen the market again excel to those new all-time highs again and again and again. The scary part of this is locking in the losses when you sell. So I've seen a lot of people that the market dropped 20%. They knew it was all doom and gloom. The news was saying it was going to be absolutely horrible. They sold out of their portfolio in their entirety, locking in the 20% losses in the entirety. All of a sudden, a couple months later, the market rebounds and it continues to rebound. They're sold out of the market in the entirety. They have no stake. And of course, they are not making their money back at all. The third one we look at, do not switch your strategies. The killer of compounding is not the market crash itself. It's the investors who are switching from the VOO to an S, moving into a growth stock, maybe into some cryptocurrency, looking at leveraged ETFs, looking at some of the covered called ETFs. Every switch releases the compounding clock. You have to know this and understand it. Every switch can also create a taxable event if you're selling out and buying into positions. It is a decision, honestly, and a lot of people make them at the absolute worst time to be making a decision after something has already run up or you're moving into a position where an ETF's up 100, 200, 300%. A lot of people switch strategies at that point. Number 4, and this is one that you have to take with a grain of salt, do not chase hot tips. When you look at that, someone at work tells you about a stock tip, you've seen it on YouTube, you've seen it on TikTok, you've seen it on Twitter, ignore it. When you look at Reddit, they're talking about what is going to be the next big thing. If you look at the crypto bros, it's the exact same thing. As a financial creator, again, including me on my worst days, I get excited about new ETFs. I look at the returns, and you know what? I stay consistent with the way methodology and really the way knowing that the calm is really going to be there, and knowing that I don't have to worry about my portfolio enough, because good enough held consistently, brilliant portfolios without having to trade like a lot of people do. And the big one, and this is going to take some time to get used to, guys, do not check the balance daily. When we look at investing, it sounds very small to say this, and a lot of people do. It is very, very important. Every time that you go in and you check your portfolio, you are creating an opportunity to feel something emotional about it. When we talk about finance, we want to remove the emotional aspect of it. You feel like something about the portfolio, maybe something's wrong, maybe you need to tweak it a little bit, maybe it's time to rebalance. Boring investor checks their balances, and I do probably about once every couple months. We treat it like a retirement account. And when you look at brokerage accounts, when you look at IRA accounts, when you look at 401k accounts, it's interesting because there is a really big divergence between, if you have a 401k account, most people check them every year, maybe every couple years if they're sending you a statement or you're getting an annual release, anything of that nature. Most people will check brokerage accounts every single day. IRA accounts, knowing the money's locked up, they won't look at them. You need to treat it like a 401k account. When you're putting the money in there, automate it. Make sure it's going in on an automatic basis. When the money is going in there, and honestly, doing this really makes a big difference. Put the money in there, set it and forget it. You know the portfolio is good. Every 3 months, 6 months, maybe even once a year, check back into it, see exactly how much it's grown, and be done. Now, of course, I want to be honest with you something. Boring investing is very simple, but it's not easy. There's a really big differentiating factor between simple and easy. And I think that distraction really matters a lot, because if you tried time and time again to do this and you've struggled, it's not because you're doing it wrong. It's because modern life is working against you. Your phone sends you notifications, market moves, things that are changing, financial social media looking and really rewarding the loudest people that are looking at the most exciting calls. Every day there's a new narrative on why the momentum is different, why things have changed, why the stock market's going to crash, this or that and the other. And really the financial media ecosystem itself is optimized to give you the feeling that you need to activate, that there's something you need to do. You're not informed like you need to do. You need to make decisions. And again, buying the VOO, I have bought it. I am not into the viral content. I'm not looking for anything that is going to be shock and awe. I bought the VOO this month. I'm going to buy it next month. I'm going to buy it next year. I've bought it for the last almost 7 years in my portfolio. And even in the last 12 years within my 401k plan, I have bought the VOO in its entirety. The investor who succeeds are the boring investors that have a system in place and don't really worry about anything else. So how do I want to close out this week, guys? Monday, we talked about the SMH up 54%. Semiconductors, AI super cycles, 15% of my portfolio. Tuesday, of course, was talking about NASA, the SpaceX, pre-IPO, this, of course. And then Thursday, we did quantum, the government, really the quantitative computing, $2 billion in there, and all real, all compelling, all things I believe in for the longevity. Looking at the next 10 to 20 years, definitely going to be there. But when I start looking at my portfolio, the foundation under it is very boring. The VOO, the QQQM, the SCHD, and the S. And honestly, none of them get headlines like all of these other ETFs do. There's no government backing them. There's no IPOs within there. It is just the quiet, consistent growth that we're seeing in there. So drop a comment, guys, and tell me what percentage of the portfolio is your boring percentage and what exactly is exciting about investing right now. I genuinely want to know where you guys are at, because I think getting to the right balance is one of the most important investing decisions that we can definitely make. I read every single comment. I will go through them in the entirety. If this channel gave you something useful this week, with all of the content, definitely subscribe to the channel because we are doing this every single day. And of course, the exciting and the boring, the satellite and the foundation, the full picture of a portfolio. And I'll see you guys next week.